The closing of the anchor store doesn't bode well for the mall's future.
It's not going to last much longer. We've all kind of talked and have heard the talk between our customers. And
another blow to Akron's struggling Chapel Hill Mall. Its lone remaining anchor store will close this spring. JCPenney.
Shopping malls are a staple of American culture, especially in the 1970s to the 1990s. And although there are some malls that are still prominent and bustling, many malls around America have shut their doors forever. Northeast Ohio is not only the place that I call home, but also a notorious hotspot for malls, alive and dead. Obviously, malls can't actually be alive or dead, but what I'm referencing is that if malls are open and at least relatively busy, that's an alive mall. If they're either completely abandoned and left to rot to the point where people aren't legally allowed in, or if many stores have left their residents at the mall and the mall is starting to spiral into abandonment, that's a dead mall. Some of the most prominent dead malls in Northeast Ohio, and even in the whole world, include Rolling Acres Mall in Akron, Randall Park Mall in Cleveland, which I actually made a reference to in my April Fool's video this year, and the mall that I'll be talking about in this video, Chapel Hill Mall, which is located northeast of downtown Akron. The mall opened in 1967, and I've probably been to this mall 2 or 3 times before it completely closed down. But even a young and oblivious Alayna could tell, this mall's days were numbered. Chapel Hill Mall did end up closing for good in July of 2020, and if you search the mall on Google, the reviews tell it all. A 2.6 out of 5 stars doesn't look too great, and if you have people saying, this mall should just shut down already, the building is very vacant and sad, and even what was once a magical, lively, family-oriented mall is now taking its last breaths. That's not a great sign. Seeing a place that made so many people's childhoods and provided a lifetime of memories dissolve into the statistics of abandoned malls in America really is devastating. But the closure of Chapel Hill wasn't abrupt. Stores gradually left as more and more tragedies started to occur on the property. An example of this is that in August of 2015, a 35-year-old man was stabbed in the parking lot of the mall. He had been both shot and stabbed in the past. He ended up dying because of his injuries. The 28-year-old man who stabbed him had been having rising tension with him, leading him to commit this horrible act against him. And not only that, but just in 2022, even after the mall closed, and a 22-year-old man who didn't die, but was still shot in the parking lot of a movie theater close to the mall. Even though this particular story occurred after the mall was closed, acts of violence like these were part of the reason why the mall closed. Now, the most memorable part of the mall for me, along with many other people who grew up in Northeast Ohio, was the Carousel. Located in the food court, which was a very liminal space by itself, was a carousel that greeted guests as they entered the mall. Pictures of this carousel by itself sparks a sense of familiarity and nostalgia to me. It might just be me, but with that carousel, with all of its lights, animals, and just its atmosphere is mesmerizing to me. I remember riding this once when I was younger, and from what I remember, I loved it. I also rode the carousel at Summit Mall, which I believe has now been relocated. That mall is also located in Akron, in a suburb called Fairlawn. Either way, the Chapel Hill Mall and its carousel really represent something special to me. Not to sound like a stereotypical English teacher, but to me, the carousel found at Chapel Hill Mall had that deeper meaning and connection for me. As the mall slowly died and more stores shut down, the future wasn't looking bright for the property. But the only thing that was bright, the only light in the darkness, and the only thing that breathed that childlike life back into the mall was the carousel. They complemented each other. The sad, lonely, and mature reality that the mall was meeting its demise soon contrasted the innocent, happy, surreal, and liminal carousel. Nowadays, the carousel is being located to Lock 3, an area in downtown Akron located 13 minutes south of the mall. I'm glad to see the carousel isn't being completely demolished, but instead being a part of another chapter of Akron, Ohio's long history. As an amusement park enthusiast who primarily makes roller coaster and flat ride videos, this ride is no doubt nostalgic and a rare credit to all enthusiasts who got lucky enough to ride it. So, in conclusion, Chapel Hill Mall is a nostalgic place filled with endless memories. As of now, the mall was sold in 2022 to a company by the name of Industrial Commercial Properties. They plan to transform the area into the Chapel Hill Business Park. This is very sad as the mall is most likely being demolished soon, if not already. But the memories will stay forever. So, that's about all for this video. I tried to do something different than what you guys are probably used to seeing. But, if you're new here, my name is Alayna, and I make videos about roller coasters weekly. If you want to, please be sure to subscribe, as it greatly helps the channel out. Thank you so much for watching my mini passion project on the Chapel Hill Mall, and I will see you soon.